Hi, it's Candy from Mosaic Moments. Today I want to show you how easy it is to layer on your pages using the dies. This page I've started following this page pattern, number 202, and instead of doing just one space here, I've layered it, so I've got patterned paper and then my photo here. It's still the same size on the background, but I've added layers. And I've done that throughout the page, and I want to show you how easy it is. The dies come in sets like this. And on here, the dark solid purple is the size that fits perfectly on the grid. So this die would fit, and it would fill this entire space. The polka dotted are a little bit smaller. So they're going to be your layered pieces like this photo here that fill only part of the space. So what I've done, I've completed this page, but I've left the center spot, and I want to show you how you can use the layers, the different size dies, to make 3 different layers. So first we're going to take a smaller die, which if I put it on the grid is only going to fill this much space. And this one actually fits perfectly on the grid. You see it would normally fill this space, but because I wanted a 3rd layer, I'm going to use it as a layering die, so it's going to center on the grid like this. So I'm going to take my photo, place it on here. Let's get a machine. I'm using the Sizzix Big Shot. You can use a variety of different machines work with these dies. I'm using the magnetic platform, but you can follow your manufacturer's instructions for whatever set of dies you or whatever machine you have when you're using the thin metal dies. So my plates are warped and they're marked. That happens. They're still fine to use. I'm going to set it on here, put my picture on, and then because I'm using the magnetic plate, it'll kind of hold my die in place. You hear how it snaps in. So I'm going to get the die positioned exactly where I want it on the photo. If you didn't have the magnetic plate, or you were doing some real precise cutting and you wanted to make sure it stayed perfectly straight, you could just use a bit of washi tape. Put the top piece on, and I'm going to hold it tight so it doesn't move. It already moved. Let's fix this again. If my plates weren't warped, this would be really simple. But with them warped, it takes just a little bit of finesse. I'm going to run them through the machine. The cracking that you hear, that's normal. Nothing is breaking, that's just how the machine works. And there I now have the photo that is cut to the size of the die. So I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to go to my next layer. And this time I am using one of the purple polka dotted dies off of here. One of the layering dies, and this one is going to cut just a slightly larger than my photo to fit on here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my paper on, my base plate here, put my die on top, put the top on, run it through. Now we have the second piece. And you can see my photo will fit nicely in the middle of that. Now we're going to do the 3rd one. So now I have the largest die. This die is actually made to fit the grid system. And I've got another sheet of paper. And again, we're going to make our little sandwich. Just follow the instructions on your machine so that you make the correct sandwich. The magnet is moving it around. So now we can crank this one through. And on this page I decided to use a little ink. So I'm going to just ink up this applicator, and I'm going to quickly ink the edges of each of my pieces of paper. I like using an ink applicator rather than directly from the ink pad. For one thing, paper cuts through your ink pad just like you get a paper cut. So it saves my ink pad, but it also gives me a little bit softer and a little more control on my paper. I don't get those harsh lines that you sometimes get if you go direct from the ink pad. Now, we can quickly glue these on. This papers and stickers that I used on this page are all from a basic gray collection. So now I'm just going to match up the grid because it fits perfectly because I used the dies. And then the second layer. And this one again is made to layer with that original die. This is one of the polka dotted ones if you look at the set of nesting dies here. The solid is this background, the polka dotted is this one, and then just because I wanted a third layer, I went ahead and used this other purple one as a layering die. Put that one right in the middle, and our page is complete.